Thank you so much for tuning into a decade of dive. I am excited to share with you some of my trials and tribulations throughout the last 9 years of being in business. Dallas has been wonderful to me, and I just want to explain some of the behind the scenes things that went on. When we first opened, I was full of fear, but empowerment at the same time. There was so much I wanted to share with everyone, recipes from when I grew up. Now I look back and I see some of the things that caught on first. My first biggest selling recipe was the seared ahi tuna wrap. I'm sure some of you still eat it all the time to this day. I've never been able to take it off the menu. And there was a time when I opened that I was like, please order something else. There's so much more I have to offer. But you all continue to order the ahi tuna wrap. It's my claim to fame. It put me on the map. So thank you, ahi tuna wrap. But today I'm going to show you some tricks on how to make it at home if you dare. We're gonna start with the slaw. The slaw should look like this, but you can buy any slaw in a bag these days at any grocery store, and that should be sufficient as well. I'm gonna show you a couple cutting tricks with this. I love to use a mandolin. Mandolins make everything uniform in size. You have to be very careful not to cut your finger, but on the back there's a screw right here that enables your size of cut or your thickness, and you can screw it back and forth to try to get the exact thickness that you're going for. I'm going for a rather thin slice. So then I have my hand like this, and I just quickly come down, and as you can see, there's beautiful pieces of cabbage and really easy to make a slaw. And I'll do that with both colors. You can even do like this, directly over the bowl that you're using. And boom, perfect pieces of cabbage, nice and thin. Then we're gonna do the same with the white cabbage. Put it right on the bowl. And you can see, nice little size, exactly the same as the red cabbage. And you'll have, you see what I mean by having that top piece be nice and firm, because it starts to come off. And you don't want to put that in there. It won't match the rest of it. And take that apart. You can mix those accordingly so that they flow and are the same, about the same equal parts of each. Next, I'll be using a carrot for a little bit of color in our slaw. And I'll take, this is similar, there are pieces to a mandolin that fit in to give you a julienne. This is very similar. It looks like a grater or a peeler, but it has actually ridges on the inside that give it blades that make it into a julienne. So again, very easy, fun tool. Like this, you just pull down on the carrot, hold the carrot steady to the cutting board. And the cool thing with this is you get nice thin pieces, just like our cabbage, and you can just put those into our slaw, and then again, evenly distribute it so that it gives it that extra little oomph of color, and you have 3 colors in your slaw now. We're next going to move on to some Persian cucumbers. I love these because you don't have to deskin them. In the restaurant, we also use regular or English cucumbers, most of the time English cucumbers. These are just nice and small and easy to work with, and they taste really great, and you don't have to de-seed them. It's a big part of why I love the Persians. Again, we're going to be using our mandolin. Then you have some really nice uniform pieces. I mean, cucumbers, they smell so fresh. They just remind me of summer. Very cooling and hydrating. And you know, that's another thing that I do at Dive. I love to educate people on health and how all of these elements that you're eating are actually really good for you. This has tons of water in it, so it is very hydrating in the summer. This is great fiber. It's also got a probiotic in it, and these are really, cabbage is a really wonderful thing for your gut health. Ginger is another great thing for your gut health. It's also an inflammatory, but in this case, we're going to be cooking it down a little bit for our coconut rice. This part has the majority of the meat of the avocado, so I like to start with that, so that's an even cut. And then all I do is literally keep my knife in there, and I can feel it on the seed on the inside, and I'll literally roll it all the way around without moving my knife. And take it, twist it, voila. Take your knife, stick it into the seed, twist, and voila, perfect. And you can take your seed. I always like to save my seed. If you have leftover avocado and you don't want it to oxidize quickly, always put the seed back into your smashed avocado, or put the avocado seed back into whatever the part you're not using and put a saran wrap around that. Quick little easy trick too, taking a spoon, putting it right along the skin, in between the skin and the meat of the avocado, and you just slowly scoop it, follow the skin all the way around, and then put that into your bowl. I like to take a fork and just smash the avocado really simply, like as if you were gonna make a guacamole. Essentially, we are making the base of a guacamole. It's just to have another element in our ahi tuna wrap. So now we have our elements that will be going in our ahi tuna wrap. We have our smashed avocado, we have the base for our slaw, we have our cucumbers. Those are our main vegetables in the ingredient. I like to do coconut ginger rice. Right here we have some diced onions, and all of us know how to do that. I mean, most of us anyway. Then I take this raw ginger, I de-skin it on the outside, and then I just chop it into a small dice as well. This is an organic California jasmine rice. We use jasmine rice at the restaurant as well, and this is a brand that I love to use at home. We have about a cup of coconut milk here. This is just straight out of a can. You can use any brand that you'd like. This is some ginger that we actually diced up. We take a whole piece of ginger, we take off the skin, and then we chop it into small pieces. So with the coconut rice, we'll saute our onions slowly until they're translucent. And we're gonna evenly distribute a little bit of the ginger, and together let them saute and get a good aroma going with the ginger. You wanna make sure that that opens up its flavors a little bit by being heated up in the pan. After you see that that's coming together, you just wanna go ahead and pour your cup of coconut milk over the top and let that all simmer together for just a few minutes. What you're gonna do is reduce it down slightly. That gives a sweeter flavor to the coconut milk, and it also grabs the aroma of the onion and the ginger. And all you do is take that mixture once that's complete and pour it right on top of your jasmine rice and mix it all together, and boom, that's finished. I do like to add a little salt and pepper to taste, and that's all preference, of course. Now, we prepped our slaw earlier. What we're making is a ginger mayo. I like to use actually powdered ginger in this case, simply because it is a little easier on the palate and not so coarse on the mouth when you go to put it into a dressing like this. Very simple ingredients here. We're just using a regular mayo. Any mayo that you have is fine. I'm gonna be using an apple cider vinegar here, and then also a sesame oil. We make a stone ground mustard in the restaurant. It's basically whole mustard seeds that we turn into a mustard. It's very simple, and you can use any stone ground mustard, of course. I do like the stone ground. I feel like it has a little more natural flavor and not so much of a Dijon flavor. It just gives the mustard seed a little tang to it, and that's all we want. We don't want a winey flavor at all. I'll take about, let's say, a tablespoon of ginger, and I'm just gonna eye this because I do this really frequently. And then I put in the mayonnaise. And again, I probably use, a recipe will be on the blog, but I probably use about 3 or 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Now I'm gonna try to mix all of that together so that you get a nice base for your dressing. Now that's rather thick, but we are going to thin it with the other 2 ingredients. What I will do is I'll slowly, very slowly, pour in my vinegar. And I do the same, I just do a small amount because look at the difference in consistency already. It gets much thinner. So I'll just put a touch of toasted sesame oil, just to give it that extra toasty flavor. You can always add more dressing, but you can't always take dressing out. So I like to go a little thinner. So I'll just pour a little bit here. Leave a little bit in the bowl, just in case. You can use tongs or you can use just like something like this. Or if you really want to do what I do, let's be real, your hands are your best tools, man. Get in there. Just get in there. Your hands are clean. That's what you use to cook. And you can really distribute the sauce in a nice way where you feel that every piece is evenly coated, as well as not messing up too much of the kitchen. Just your hands. Sometimes I'm silly. Okay. You can tell I have a 3-year-old because I say silly. You have your avocado, your cucumbers, your ginger slaw, your coconut rice. So this is the center of a tuna loin. If you go to a grocery store and you want to buy a piece of tuna, try to ask them for a center piece. You usually cut that. It comes in a triangle like this. If you ever see, they usually sell the tuna steaks like this. This is that middle piece in the bottom left corner. Why I like to use these pieces is because they don't have as much silver skin. So when you go to bite into it, those little pieces of protein don't get stuck into your teeth. So that's the piece that we use at Dive. Obviously, we cut down an entire piece of tuna at Dive. So that's not always the case. You can always just cut up a steak into cubes like this and do it at home and you'll still get the same result. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our pan super hot. I'm going to go ahead and sear the outside. First, we dip it in a little ponzu, which is also a sauce that we're gonna give you to eat with your ahi tuna wrap. We dip a little ponzu and then we coat it with sesame seeds and we sear the outside so it coats the entire outside. It's like a sesame crusted piece of ahi tuna. And the middle will still be raw, but the outside will be cooked. Now, a way that I watch the sear occur is you can actually look at the side and see that it's cooked to a certain level, and that's when you know to switch the tuna piece to the next side. Okay, so we do a spinach tortilla for our ahi tuna wrap. We can, you can use any tortilla. I like to use the rather large ones because we have all of these ingredients that we have to put in the wrap. So what I'm going to do is just take a nonstick pan and go ahead and heat up the tortilla on either side quickly. That just makes it a little bit softer and more pliable, easier to work with. Let's see. Okay, so we're just gonna have our tortilla like so. Have all of our ingredients nice and handy. I like to start with the avocado. So I take one little spoonful of avocado and I smear it right here. Then we're gonna go ahead and take your coconut rice. I like to take a nice little amount here, just like so. So you have a layer of avocado, a layer of coconut. I'm now gonna put my cucumbers. Take your cucumbers and you just place them right like so. I always like to have my cucumbers close to my avocado because I feel like it complements the avocado. Then I'm going to put my piece of tuna. So your seared piece of tuna, I just put it right here in the middle. And then I top it with some slaw right here. And that flavor of the dressing and the slaw can really come out with all these other ingredients. So this is the interior of the wrap. We have all of our ingredients. the avocado, the cucumber, the coconut rice, the seared piece of ahi, and our nice ginger slaw right on top. Now, what we're gonna do is you wanna, just like if you're rolling sushi, you wanna hold that nice and tight, really close together, and then you're gonna take your pieces on your side, fold it in on both sides, and roll it right up like so. And then just take this guy right in here so that what you're doing is sealing the burrito so that it's closed together. If you heat up the sides of the tortillas, it will seal. We take our burrito. I like to always cut it in half, just a little bit at an angle. And voila. We serve it with a sweet chili sauce, and we also serve it with a ponzu. We make our ponzu in-house. It has yuzu, sriracha, and soy sauce. We can use the gluten-free tamari for our soy sauce as well for those gluten-free patrons. And remember, we have all these great ingredients. It doesn't have to be wrapped up in a wrap. You can put it on a bowl and lay out all the ingredients and get the same effect. There we have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so honored to be able to share this with you. Thank you, Ahi Tuna Wrap, my claim to fame here. Kept dive on the map for 10 years. Woo! Go decade of dive. Thank you.